He was one of the most influential activists of the 1960s. In 1962, he created the National Farm Workers Association, which would later become the United Farm Workers that we have today. He was Cesar Chavez. ISU held its first ever Cesar Chavez Day celebration this weekend. Local News 8's Misty Inglet went to the celebration to find out more about Chavez and his relevance to the Pocatello community.
A documentary of the history of Latinos and farm workers in the 1960s kicked off the celebration. And at the center of it all is one man, who many relate to one of America's most influential leaders.
A lot of people compare Cesar Chavez to Martin Luther King for Latinos.
Why? Because Cesar Chavez was an activist for equal rights. He believed in equal pay for all farm workers, so he created a union to fight for those rights. And in communities like Pocatello, where farming plays a key role, Chavez's efforts had a big impact.
He's important for where we are in Idaho because a lot of the families that provide for the students here, we are agricultural based. A lot of our parents work in the fields.
Because Chavez was instrumental in changing the way of living for Latino farm workers, one ISU sorority thought it was important to honor his history and his work. But for Lambda Theta Alpha, who put together Cesar Chavez Day, it was also about teaching the community the importance of Latino heritage.
We have a large Latino population in the local area and a growing one here on campus, and we think it's really important to acknowledge Cesar Chavez and to acknowledge them.
Part of informing the community was to tell them how Cesar Chavez Avenue came to be. A former ISU professor remembers it well.
Art Pass came to me in October of 2001 with this beautiful idea. He wanted to have a street somewhere in Pocatello named Cesar Chavez. And I went, wow, what a great idea.
It took less than 1 year for this street to become Cesar Chavez Avenue. Now, 14 years later, it's still just as significant. It was the first street in the state to be named after Cesar. With a street in his name and a day set aside to honor him, Lambda Theta is hoping Chavez's legacy will continue to live on. Reporting in Pocatello, I'm Misty Inglet.
At the celebration, awards were also given to outstanding high school students and ISU faculty in honor of Cesar Chavez.